We are the group 6, and we're going to discuss and solve the data set 6. But before that, let us first introduce ourselves.
I am Nicole Felicity S. Bicola.
I am Giselle Yanyasco.
I am Dayani M. Sinizan.
I am Marie Angela Ilinata.
And I am Mary Claire Cabasada.
Dataset 6. A survey was conducted among NBSC students. The average daily screen time in hours of 38 randomly selected students of NBSC is as follows. A. Compute the mean, median, and mode. B. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation. C. Determine the range of values that contains the middle 68% of the data. D. Compute the z-scores of 3.5 hours and 8 hours and interpret what each value indicates about their position relative to the mean. E. What values belong to the top 20% and the bottom 10% of the data. F. Determine the proportion of students who have 7 hours or less of daily screen time. G. What is the probability that a randomly selected student has 8 hours or more of daily screen time? H. Approximately what is the daily screen time of randomly selected student with a z-score of 1.25? So, let's start.
First, problem A. Compute the mean, mode, and median.
Next day.
To get the mean, we use the formula x bar equals the summation of x divided n. So the x bar means the average, which is the total of the values from 1 to 10. And the summation, the sigma or summation means all odd values. And the x means the data values, which is the numbers or the daily screen time of the student. And the n means the number of data values. So there are 38 student respondents. So after adding the screen time values and dividing by 38 students, we got a mean of 5.07 hours. Next is the median. We arranged the data from lowest to highest and identified the middle values. Since there are 38 values, the two middle numbers are both 5, so the mean is 5 hours. Next is for the mode. We identified the value that appeared most often. So based on the data given, the number 6 appeared the most. So it appears 5 times. So the mode in this problem is 6 hours.
Next, problem B. Calculate the range, variance, and standard deviation.
Now for letter B, for the range, we use the formula range equals highest value minus the lowest value. Since the highest value of the data is 10 and the lowest value is 1, so 10 minus 1 is equals to 9. So the range is 9. Next is the variance. We use the simple sample variance formula. So to get the variance, we use the formula s squared equals the summation of the quantity x minus x bar squared divided by n minus 1. Now, let us explain the variance table by step. So, as you can see in the first column is the x column. These are the original screen time values from the survey. The second column is x minus x bar. In this step, we subtracted the mean, which is 5.07 from every value in the data. For example, if in the first row, if x is 1, then it will be subtracted by 5.07. So equals negative 4.07. This means the value 1 is 4.07 below the mean. Another example, if x is 6, so 6 minus 5.07 equals 0.93. This means the value 6 is 0.93 above the mean. For the third column is the quantity minus x bar squared. This means we square the answers from the second column. For example, negative 4.07 squared minus I equals 16.56 and 0.93 squared equals 0.86. We repeated this process for all 38 values, and after squaring all the results, we added them together. So the total is 164.92. Then we substitute the value into the variance formula, which is the s squared equals 164.2 divided by 38 minus 1. Then we'll get the answer of 4.46. Therefore, the variance is 4.46. Next, to solve the standard deviation, we got the square root of the variance. So, the s equals the square root of 4.46. So, the standard deviation is 2.7.
Now, problem C. Determine the range of values that contains the middle 68% of the data.
Letter C. To determine the middle 68% of the data, we use the empirical rule which states that about 68% of the data and a normal distribution lies within one standard deviation above and below the mean. So we subtract and add the standard deviation from the mean. So our mean is 5.07, and our so every one standard deviation we have 2.11. So we add 5.07 plus 2.11 will get 7.18 positive standard deviation in the upper limit. So in the lower limit, we subtract. So 5.07 minus 2.11 will be equals to 2.96, and all of as follows will be minus. So 2.96 minus 2.11 will be 0.85, and the same way the others. So therefore, the range of values that contains the middle 68% of the data is that 2.96 to 7.18. This means the most students' screen time falls between 2.96 hours and 7.18 hours.
Problem D. Compute the z-score of 2.5 hours and 8 hours and interpret what each value indicates about their position relative to the mean. Letter D. To compute the z-score of 3.5 hours and 8 hours, so the formula is z is equal to x minus x bar divided by standard deviation. So let us first compute the 3.5 hours. So z1 is equal to 3.5 minus 5.07, which is the mean, divided by the standard deviation of 2.11, is equal to negative 0.74. Next is the 8 hours. So Z2 is equal to 8 minus 5.07 divided by 2.11 is equal to 1.39. This means the row score of 3.5 is negative 0.74, standard deviation below the mean. And the row score is 8 is 1.39 standard deviation above the mean. Next slide, please. Problem E.
what values belong to the top 20% and the bottom 10% of the data.
So to find the values of top 20% and the bottom 10%. So this problem uses the z-score formula and the z-table. So let's first find the value belong to the top 20%. So step 1, let us first understand the problem. So the phrase top 20% means 20% of the students are above the value, while 80% are below the value. So we subtract 100% minus 20% is equal to 80%. So this means we are looking for the value with an area of 0.80 or 80% to the right side of the normal curve. Step 2. So let's find the corresponding z-score. So using the z-table, look for the area closest to the 0.80. So the closest value of 0.80 in the z-table is 0.7995. So the corresponding z-score is z is equal to 0.84. So where did the 0.84 come from? The value of 0.84 was taken from the z-table because its area is closest to 0.80. So this means a z-score of 0.84 has about 80% of the data below it and 20% above it. So step 3, let's use the z-score formula, which is z is equal, open parentheses, x minus x bar, close parentheses, divided by standard deviation, where z is equal to 0.84 and x bar is the mean, which is 5.07, and the standard deviation of 2.11. So let's substitute the values. So 0.84 is equal to x minus 5.07 divided by 2.11. Step 4. So let us multiply the both sides by 2.11. So 0.84, open parentheses, 2.11 is equal to x minus 5.07. So 0.84 times 2.11 is equal to 1.77. So the equation becomes 1.77 is equal to x minus 5.07. Step 6. So let us add the 5.07 to the both sides. So the 1.77 plus 5.07 is equal to x x is equal to 6.84. So the final answer is x is equal to 6.84. So this means that the students with a screen time of approximately 6.84 hours or more belong to the top 20% of screen time users. So these students spend more time on screens compared to most students. So let's find the bottom 10%. So let us understand the problem. First, that the phrase bottom 10% means only 10% of the students are below the value. So this means we look for an area of 0.10 on the left side of the normal curve. So let's find the corresponding z-score. So using the z-table, the z-score corresponding to 0.10 is z is equal to negative 1.28. So where did the negative 1.28 come from? So the z-score negative 1.28 was taken from the z-table because it corresponds to an area close to 0.10. So the negative sign means the value is below the mean. So let's use the z-score formula. So the z is equal, open parentheses, x minus x bar, close parentheses, divided by standard deviation, where z is equal to negative 1.28 and x bar is the mean, which is the 5.07, and the standard deviation of 2.11. So let's substitute the values. So the negative 1.28 is equal to, open parentheses, x minus 5.07, close parentheses, divided by 2.11. So let us multiply both sides. So 1.28 times 2.11 is equal to negative 2.70. So the equation becomes negative 2.70 is equal to x minus 5.07. So the next step is let add the 5.07 to the both side. So let us add the negative 2.70 plus 5.07 is equal to x. X is equal to 2.37. So the final answer is x is equal to 2.37. So this means that students with a screen time of approximately 2.37 hours or less belong to the bottom 10% of the screen time users. So these students spend less time on screens compared to the most students.
Problem F. Determine the proportion of students who have 7 hours or less of daily screen time.
So let's proceed to the problem F. To determine the proportion of students who have 7 hours or less of daily screen time, the z-score formula was used. First, the mean 5.07 was subtracted from 7 to get 1.93. Then, 1.93 was divided by the standard deviation 2.11, giving giving a z-score of 0.91. So using the z table, can you please go to the z table, Miss Bincola? So using the z table, the area of the left of 0.91 is 0.8186. So converting this into percentage, giving 81.86, meaning about 81.86% of the students have 7 hours or less of daily screen time.
Lastly, problem H. What is the approximately daily screen time of a randomly selected student with a z-score of 1.25?
Now that we have established our baseline, we'll start with problem G, where we determine the probability of student screen usage. So, using our mean 5.07 and a standard deviation of 2.11, we calculated the z-score. So, z-score equals 8 minus 5.07 divided by 2.11, which gave us 1.39. To find this value in our table, we reuse the row column method. So, we look down the left column for 1.3, slide across to the 0.09 column, and find the intersection of 0.9177. However, since our z table always shows the area to the left less than, and we are looking for 8 hours or more, we must subtract our result from the total area, the curve 1. So 1 minus 0.9177 is equals to 0.0823 or 8.23%. This tells us that only about 8% of our sample exceeds 8 hours of screen time.
Next is we have problem G. What is the probability that randomly selected student has 8 hours or more of daily screen time?
Lastly, problem H. So in this section, we take the given z-score of 1.25 and convert it back into human term, specifically into hours of screen time. To do this, we rearrange our standard z-score formula to solve for an x. So the calculation is straightforward. We multiply our z-score by the standard deviation and then add the mean back in. So first is 1.25 multiplied by 2.11. It gives us 2.64. and adding our mean of 5.07 result in 7.71. So, in conclusion, rounding this, we find that a student with a z-score of 1.25 spends approximately 8 hours on their screen. This concludes our analysis, showing how the z-score acts as a reliable bridge between abstract statistical probability and concrete, everyday measurements. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We hope you gain knowledge in our presentation. And that would be all. Thank you.